This facility is a training academy. The Jedi have existed for thousands upon thousands of years. We are as old as the Republic itself. Unfortunately, our recent history is one of tragedy and bloodshed. Exar Kun was a Jedi who fell to the dark side and led an army against the Jedi in the Republic. The memory of war was fresh in everyone's mind. Nobody was eager to relive the horrors in a campaign against the Mandalorians. The Republic sent their entire fleet to do battle with this new threat. They rallied many of the Jedi to their cause, and against the wishes of their masters, the Mandalorian Wars had begun. The Republic petitioned the Jedi Council for aid, but there were many factors to consider before we allowed ourselves to be drawn into another conflict.
Bugra shak kunti chiwa mchawa dong abuk shami no. Hakuchi kopat?
It's nothing. Forget about it.
Chinapala mule dong ki ba non tontek. Tong nabun shanuyang.
You shouldn't just dismiss his warnings like that. My uncle means well for you, even though sometimes he may not express it as openly as you would like.
Bona na kachu, kicha badwang, wanga kum kiba bu mulera, kakin shak nawagawa bakon.
What my uncle believes also happens to be what the rest of the Jedi Order believes. War brings out the worst in people. Jedi especially.
Talabun shan omnang, minamamato mulera.
How can you know that? The Jedi chose to embrace war, and it nearly resulted in our destruction.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokarpata. Tangabushan omnang. Wanga kun biskin ba mularak. Choni yun tun jiji either dwana. Kava vulpa mulji gumana.
I see your point, but do not think I'm willing to concede just yet.
Kavadumpa kapalia monapata. Bonanakachu.
The Jedi Council is wise. They would not have taken this stance of inaction unless they had a very good reason to do so. We must place our faith in their wisdom.
Yin kin kun no ba mule rachi kun. Tong na bun shanuyang.
It is a dangerous line of thought that you are pursuing. The Jedi who serve on the Council are not chosen randomly. It is composed of those of us most fit to be burdened with the responsibilities of leadership.
Shachesko don punta casa pubaka. Muchaka hawakan yafuki. Tune rana nu prata donko searcha domatama? Yisi kun no ba muladraki chichon.
I just hope you don't do something you'll regret.
While the Jedi Council preached patience, there were many among our order who were eager for us to join the battle. 2 young knights in particular demanded immediate action, Revan and Malak.
dumpa ku palia mukapata. Podona chaku. Ikun kono bule marachiko.
Dong abuk shami nonog. Kin kun shin kin ni kin kun na bule mule raji kun shuni yun ni jiji aldwana tong abuk sha nagnong kava volpa muli kumana. Watu yama kama wuna henak nek, bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa, dong abuk shami nonok. Bona na kachu, kicha badwang, wanga kum kiba bu mulera, kakin chak nawa gawa bakon. Kava dumpa kupaliaya moka pata.
We must act now to stop the Mandalorians. Join Revan and I. Together we will battle this menace. I sense you will join us.
Chi pala mulek, tong ki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Rundi I chawa tong bola Johnny ku. Yumawamanibo lora weisha waga shichi. Tangabun shan nang, wanga kun beast kin ba mulara, choni yun tun jiji either dwana, hachu apanki. Jishawa anibun ka sha chona si ichua byongbo joni, minamambato mulera, hakugri katgota parabola. Tangabun shan nang, rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny ku, yumawamanibo lora weisha waga shichi. Tanga buk sha nagnong, dun ni chachon kun ne mule rabast. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest, rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny ku, wufmala nibo gurk. Jishawa anibun ka sha chona si ichua byongbo Johnny, yumawamanibo lora weisha waga shichi. Mucha shakapaka, yi ki kun no ba muladra ki shichon. Dunni chachon kun ne mule rabast. Jishawa anibun ka sha chona si ichua byongbo Johnny, yumawamanibo lora weisha waga shichi. Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny ku, kipuna na bon sha, kakin cha na guana brakon.
Master Jedi! Master Jedi! The Mandalorians are in disarray. Their defensive lines are weakened.
We should push the Mandis back whilst we still have a chance.
Kava dumpa kupaliaya moka pata. Tong na bun shanuyang.
Our forces have gained an advantage, but it's only a matter of time before the Mandi reinforcements reach this sector.
The soldiers are giving everything they have and more, but if we're still dug in like this when those reinforcements arrive, we won't survive for much longer.
Kava numpa kumpialia monokata. Ranga kun bis king no moruat. Yikin kun no ba mule rachi kun tong na bun shanuyang.
For Mandalore!
We have defeated the Mandalorians. The Republic is victorious.
Kabanumpa kumpialia monokata. Ranga kun bis king no moruat. Kakin chana guana pakon. Tanga boksha nagnong. Yi ki kun no ba muladraki chichon. Shuni yun ni chichi alduana. Chinapala mula. Tongki ba non tontek. Tu nikton chun chun ke nemolek rabest. Wufmala nibo kurk. Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku, Yumawama nibo lora waisha waga shichi. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon, wanakumbes, chi pala mulek, tongki pa nagnonek, tu nikton chun chun ke nemolek rabest. China pala mule, tongki ba non tontek, tanga boksha nagnong, kin kun shin kin, nikin kun na bule mule raji kun, shuni yun ni jiji alduana, kava volpa muli kumana, tanga bun shan nong, wana kuna best chinga pala multonki, ni bajoni yo lak wish, dopa yuma pasen lapti non goto. Tanga bun shan nong, wanga kun bist kin ba mularak, choni yun tun jiji either dwana, mina mambato mule ra, hakugri katkota la parabola. Ashantington unumani patoka, kin lorta ikakun.
Matilda.
Shauna May. At last, amid the battlefields of the Outer Rim, I have found you.
Ashantington unumani patoka, bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa, dong abuk shami nonok.
Matilda, conflict and sacrifice serve as the evolution of character. In war, we can find ourselves or redefine ourselves, but only if we fight with all our heart for a cause that we believe in.
Kipuna, bona na kichu. Kin ba mulera dwana. Tong kin ba no kudnok nek. Kava numpa kumpialia monokata. Ranga kun bis kin no moruat.
Battle for battle's sake serves no purpose. If we wage war on impulse without preparation or thought to consequence, we leave ourselves exposed. Then war consumes us, changes us, transforms us into something we are not.
Yin kin kun no ba mule rachi kun. Tong na bun shanuyang. Kavadumpa kapalia monapata. Tuni chachon kun ne mule brabast. Bona na kachu, kicha badwang, wanga kum kiba bu mulera, kakin chak nawagawa bakon, donk kiba nukunek.
Enough of this. Matilda, listen to me. You must open yourself to the words of those who truly care for you. Something is amiss, not only in the conduct of this war, but in those who wage it. Revan does not wage war like a Jedi. He shows no mercy to his enemies. He has shown a clear contempt for weakness, and he is willing to sacrifice even the innocent just for strategic gain. Revan has been consumed by this war, but you, Matilda, you still have a choice. Return with me to Coruscant, to the Jedi Order, before it's too late, before I lose you forever.
Tanga boksha nagnong, kin kun shin kin, ni kin kun na bule mule raji kun, shuni yun ni jiji aldwana, kava volpa muli kumana.
Don't act stupid, Matilda. You can feel the manipulative undercurrents that are present in this war, and know all too well that it is changing you for the worse. Act now, and we may still prevent a greater tragedy.
Kava dumpa kupaliaya mokarpata. Yin kin kun no ba mule rachi kun. Tong na bun shanuyang. Bona na kichu.
Then it is as I had feared. You are beyond even my ability to save. Out of arrogance and short-sightedness, you have allowed yourself to be romanced by the manipulations of a rogue Jedi, and have chosen a path that will lead only to despair and regret. I truly believed I could convince you to return to the Jedi, but I was wrong.
Kin ba mulera dwana, tong kin ba no kudnok nek. Kava dumpa kupaliaya mokarpata, kipuna na bonsha. Kakin chana guana bakon. Tong na bun shanuyang. Yin kin kun no ba mule rachi kun. Wati monyala kuna una kun mulira.
I do not wish to fight you, but I will do what I must to defend myself. Your skill in battle has improved, yet the heart that guides that skill is plagued by doubt. You know you cannot defeat me, for you cannot even defeat yourself.
Kavanumpa kumpialia monokata. Ranga kun biskin no moruat. Kakin chana guana bakon.
You are beaten. It is useless to resist.
Chika don mulaka watayumaka wamahona nek. Ashanti dun unumani patoka wanakuna best chinga para multonki.
I do not wish you harm. I never have. But you are dangerous. You are allowing this war to consume you. I fear if you do not resist now, it will change you forever. You say you have chosen this path willingly, but how can you be so sure you made the right choice?
Ni bajoni yo la wish. Dopayuma pasen lapti mungutu.
I feel so sorry for you, Matilda. You are lost, you are misguided, and you lack the wisdom to see the error of your ways. I must cast aside personal feelings and place my duty to the Jedi Order at the forefront of my actions. The war will consume you. The war will transform you. As an act of mercy, I will deny you this terrible fate. May you find peace in death. Mandalorians! I was so focused on the task at hand that I could not sense their growing presence. They outnumber us immeasurably. It is only a matter of time before we are hit by blaster fire. Wait, could this intervention be the will of the Force? Could you be destined for something greater?
Kin kun shopeshwa, no bamule raji.
Sometimes even duty must be cast aside to do what's right. I do not know why the Force has chosen to spare you, but I will not question its will. You have been given a chance to make amends. Do not squander it. Run, Matilda. Use this chance to escape, though you must never forget. You must never forget the child of Slihera.
Tanga boksha nagnong, yi ki kun no ba muladraki chichon. Tunni chachon kun ne mule brabast. Hakugri katkota la parabola. Jishawa anibon kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni. Yumawama nibo lora waisha waga shichi. Yi ki kun no ba muladraki chichon. Wata yumaka wamahona nek. Shantigton unumani patoka dopayuma pasen laptino goto.
Revan was a brilliant military leader, and the Republic fleet began to win victory after victory. There were unsubstantiated rumors of Revan and Malak being seen on a number of different planets during these months. Scattered sightings that were never confirmed.
Are you so certain? The Mandalorians must be stopped. They will only grow more powerful with time.
Kawanabora atugawa, watimi alabola. Kawa volpa mulji gomana? Hachu apanki, jishawa anibon kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni. Bugra shak kunti chiwa mchawa dong abuk shami nonok. Kawa volpa mulji gomana?
Ichuta, Tonhak Wamaji ak Inkotum.
Kipuna. Na bon sha.
Kun jope shop. Uba batu konki. Yutuka arua. Achu abenki.
Inkin kunoba muli rachin kun.
Dong abuk shami nonok. Wana kuna best chinga para multonki. Ashantik ton unumani patoka.
Rundi hadonga kuhungabi. Wana kun bes. Jink palamul tonk kimba na konkek. Nipunaje, dolpi kiknyunyan. Inkin kunoba muli rachin kun. tong hai tun kun ching. Kamana. Ikratuk hatu chichiya. Watayuma kawama huhanek. Kipuna. Puna na kachu. Kimbano mulina natwana. Kimbano kunnek. Kavatumpa kunpalia mokata. Rundi hadonga kuhungabi. Wana kunbes. Jink palamul tong kimba na konkek. Kachichu aitha odunga. Inkin kuno bamulira chikun. Slima podonna. Wanga kun beast king bamulira.
Tangabun shan nang. Wanga kun beast kin ba mulara choni yun tun jiji ida dwana. Kava volpa mulji gumana. Bugra shak kunti chiwa mchawa. Dong abuk shami nonok.
No one is denying that Revan was one of the keys to defeating the Mandalorians. But something happened out there on the Outer Rim.
Is this wise? The ancient Jedi sealed this archway. If we pass beyond this door, we can never go back. The Order will surely banish us. The dark side is strong in this place. Can its power truly be worth the risk?
Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni minamambato mulera hakugri katkota parabola tanga boksha nagnong kin kun shin kin nikin kun na bule muleraji kun chuni yun ni jiji aldwana kava volpa muli kumana china pala mule tonki ba non tontek Tunni chachon kun ne mule brabast. Tangabun shan nang. Wanga kun beast kin ba mulara choni yun tun jiji ida dwana. Kava volpa muli kumana? Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni dong abuk shami nonok bona na kachu kicha badwang. Wanga kum kiba bu mulera kakin chak nawagawa bakon. Kakin cha na kwat na bonkon. Wana kumbes chi pala mulek tonki pa na nonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Ufmala nibo kurk. China pala mule tonki ba non tontek. Tunni chachon kun ne mule rapast. Kakin cha na kwat na bonkon. Wana kumbes chi pala mulek tonki pa na nonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Ufmala nibo kurk. Mucho shakapaka. Yi ki kon no ba muladra ki chichon. Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Ku. Yumawama nibo lora waisha waga shichi. Tangabu shan omnang. Wanga kun bis kim ba mulara choni yun tun jiji ida dwana. Kawa vulpa mulji gomana. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Kawa vulpa muli kumana. Kipuna na bon sha. Kakin chana kwana bakon.
Children of the Mandalore, this is our greatest of hours, the moment where we at last break free from the chains that have long shackled us to the defeat of the great Sith War. Hail the glorious dead. It is their sacrifice that has allowed us to move forward and meet this destiny. I am under no delusions, my children. I understand how crucial a situation we are in. The Republic has pushed us from Onderon, from Althir, from Duxon. These are worlds we captured at the cost of countless Mandalorian lives. Our sacrifices are many, our victories now few, but our resolve has never been greater. We can defeat the Republic here. We can begin to reclaim the ground that they have taken from us. But only if you continue to embrace the Mandalorian way and commit yourselves completely to war. Seek honor through battle and bring boundless glory to the Mandalorian peoples.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokaipata. Kakin chana guana brakon. Kavadumpa kapalia monapata. Bonanakachu. Bugra shak kunti chiwa mchawa. Dong abuk shami no no. China pala mule, tonki ba non tontek, tunni chachon kun ne mule rapast. Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni, minamamato mule ra, Tangabun shan nong. Wanga kun bis kin ba mulara choni yun tun gigi ida dwana. Kava volpa mulji gumana. Kipuna na bonsha. Kava dumpa kupaliaya moka pata. Kava dumpa kapalia monapata. Bonanakachu. Kakin cha na kwat na bonkon. Wanakumbes chi pala mulak tonki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Ufmala nibokurk. Kipuna na bonsha. Kakin cha na kwana pokon. Kavadumpa kapalia monapata, bonanakachu, yin kin kun noba mule rachi kun. Prata donko searcha domatama, tangabun shan nong. Wanga kun bis kin ba mulara choni yun tun gigi ida dwana. Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny Gu. Yumawama nibo lora waisha waga shichi.
Yes, that's right. The Mandalorians must be stopped. And if the war ends with their defeat, then anything else is a small price to pay.
Donk ki ba nukunet. Tonga boksha nak nong. China pala mule, tunni chachon kun ne mule brabast. Kava volpa muli kumana.
Warriors, you continue to fight our enemies with every ounce of strength that remains in your bodies. There is a great honor in your struggle and in your sacrifice. I commend you for your efforts, for there is no greater death than one found on the field of battle. As warriors, this is a duty you must confront, the fate you must accept. And I, Mandalore, leader of the Mandalorians, have a duty that I too must confront, a fate that I too must accept. The Jedi have infiltrated our line and boarded my ship in an effort to terminate my command. This was an unforeseen and unpredictable move, and one that marks the arrival of an equally unpredictable Jedi to this battlefield. The Jedi you know and fear as Revan has taken command of the Republic forces here. I once dismissed Revan as merely another pacifistic Jedi who did not understand the truth of war. In this arrogance, I refuse to understand the truth of my own. Revan is a charismatic leader, a renowned technician, and an expert strategist. To underestimate this Jedi was our failing. It was my failing. But it is not a failing that I will repeat this day. I will meet this foe in a single combat and fight Revan on the field of battle. I will be prepared. I will be victorious. Now, as I depart to face the fate that lay before me, I ask of you, warriors, my children, that you remain loyal to the end, to your purpose, and to your leader. In turn, I will remain loyal to you, as I always have. Revel in your time, my children. Serve the Mandalorians, and they in turn will serve you.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokarpata.
For Mandalore! magnificent, isn't it? This is warfare in its most purest of forms, a battle fought by warriors whose hatred for one another has cleansed their minds of lesser passions and focused all their energies towards a single undeniable urge, the urge to destroy each other. There is much honor to be found in such a battle, and to a Mandalorian, honor is what drives us. Honor is what feeds our existence with purpose and meaning. To a Mandalorian, honor is and always has been everything. Welcome to the Battle of Malachor 5, Revan. We meet at last. Mandalorians, the Republic, both are civilizations fighting over territory, resources, and ideologies. We are creatures bound by our own desire to expand our sphere of influence beyond the sanctuary of our own borders. It is in this desire to force our truths upon the peoples of the galaxy that our war was born from. War is the ultimate test for any civilization, for in it one finds definition. Revan, you of all people know this to be true. In this war you sought purpose, you sought definition, and through your methods, through the millions you have sacrificed in your pursuit of victory, you found that definition. You, Revan, you are a Mandalorian in all but name. Revan, you have brought great honor to yourself and to your once spineless republic. We are enemies, but at heart we are both warriors. And as a warrior, I have come to respect you for the strength you have shown through your actions on the battlefield. It is why I now extend my hand to you in friendship. At heart, you are of the Mandalore. You crave battle, and our way grants you purpose. It satisfies a hunger that not the Republic nor even the Jedi could satisfy. We embrace your desire for war and see it for what it truly is, strength. Think of the feats we could accomplish together, Revan. With I as Mandalore, leader of the Mandalorians, and you, Revan, my chief strategist, we could lead the galaxy into a new age of prosperity and triumph. A galaxy fueled by the might of the Mandalorian war machine, bringing a period of strength and expansion like no other. Revan, we can shape a new Mandalorian golden age. What say you? Will you renounce your loyalties to the Republic and to the Jedi? Will you begin anew, a greater being? Will you join me? Then you will die here, and all that you fought to defend, to reclaim, will be destroyed. There will be a Mandalorian Golden Age, Revan, an age fueled by conquest and defined through war. It will be a haven for warriors, the one place where our cravings for battle will forever be satisfied. The judgment is decided. Our battle will mark the end of one age and the beginning of another. Long have I sought to test my skills against you, Revan. Rejoice. Ours will be a glorious combat. Prepare yourself. Glorious combat, Revan. I yield before your power. You are the superior warrior. I may be defeated, but as long as a new Mandalore is chosen, we will survive. Revan, you are the superior warrior. Then, Revan, I ask of you, from one warrior to another, what remains for my role in this war?
Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni minamambato mule ra hakugri katkota parabola. Kakin cha na kwat na bonkon wanakumbes chi pala mulek tonki pa nagnonek tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest wuf mala nibokurk.
Do not think to hide your true nature from me, Revan. I see the truth within you. I see it within your combat, within the tactics you employ on the battlefield, and within the countless lives, both Mandalorian and of your own Republic, that will be lost this day to further your own agenda. You do not fight to save the Republic, nor to defend its people. You are like Ulim Quel Droma, like Exar Kun. Within you I see the teachings of the Sith. Your soldiers, your allies, the Mandalorians, they were all used by you as tools and then discarded. Each battle, each victory, it was never about the joy of battle, the urge to destroy us, or achieving honor through conflict. Terrace, Duxon, Elthir, and now Malachor, in each of these massacres committed against my people, committed against your own people, always was your objective the same. You sought to bring the men and women who followed you to war under your influence, to control them, to use them, all of them, to fulfill your own agenda.
Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni minamambato mule ra hakugri katkota parabola.
Not as long as a single Mandalorian lives, Revan.
Tong ki ba non tontek, tun ni chachon kun ne mule brabas. Tong abuk shami nonok. Ashantik tun unumani patoka, wana kuna bes chinga para multonki. Ni bajoni yolak wish, dopa yumas pasen latin gotu. Tanabulshan onang, wanga kun bis kin ba mularak, choni yun tun jiji either dwana, kava vulpa mulji gomana, ye ki kun no ba muladra ki chichon. Ki puna na bon sha, kava dumpa kupaliaya mokai pata, kakin chana kwana pakon. Bona na kachu, kicha badwang, wanga kumkiba bu mulera kakin shak nawagawa bakon donk kiba nukunek ye kikon noba muladra ki chichon chinapala mule tong kiba non tontek tunni chachon kun ne mule brabast ashantik tun unumni patoka wana kuna bes chinapala multonki tong abuk shami nonok Tanga boksha nong. Ni bajoni yolak wish. Dopa yumas pasen latin goto.
Revan and Malak were heroes, the great saviors of the Republic. A third of the Republic fleet was under their direct command. And then something happened.
Chinapala mule, tong ki ba non tontek, tunni chachon kun ne mule brabast. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek brabest, ufmala nibo kurk. Tanabun shan onang, wanga kun bis kin ba mulara, choni yun tun jiji either dwana, kava vulpa mulji gomana? Jishawa anibon kasha, chona si ichua byongbo joni, mina mambato mulera, hakugri katgota la parabola. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon, wanakumbes, chi pala mulek, tongki pa na nonek, ye ki kon no ba muladra ki chichon. Kavadumpa kapaliamo na pata, bona na kachu, ki puna na bon sha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokai pata.
No thanks to you two, I've detected some fine readings on the other side of this ridge. Prepare your stealth generators. Those Jedi won't know what hit them.
We might have something to say about that.
Jedi. For Mandalore!
Kavadumpa kapaliamo na pata, bona na kachu. Yin kin kun no ba mule rachi kun, tong na bun shanu yang. Tanga boksha na nong, kin kun shin kun, ni kin kun na bule mule raji kun, bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa, tong abuk shami nonok.
The shots are getting louder and more intense. I sense a great struggle overhead.
Revan knows what he's doing up there. It's our job to take care of business on the ground.
Something still doesn't feel right.
It's just the dark power of this place you feel. Don't let it corrupt you with fear. Come on, let's get moving. Sensors are picking up more Mandalorian soldiers just to the east of here.
Kipuna na bon sha. Kakin cha na guana bakon.
I was starting to wonder if something happened to you.
I was delayed, unexpectedly. I'm approaching Malachor 5 now, but it looks like you started the party without me.
Mandalore was quick with his attack. They launched a full assault just as soon as we exited hyperspace.
I expected no less. What's the status of the mass shadow generator? Is Order finished?
He's making some final adjustments now, and will be leaving the planet shortly.
Excellent. The majority of the Mandalorian fleet is in close orbit around the planet, just where we want them. Give the order as soon as Order has completed his adjustments.
But there are still men on the surface.
Acceptable losses, Mitra. You knew the risks when sending them to the planet's surface, and so did they.
The risk was a Mandalorian ambush, not an attack from within. I did not sign up for this. Those Jedi...
Not waste this opportunity to deliver the final blow to the Mandalorians. Activate the super weapon as soon as it becomes operational. That's an order, General.
I understand. Mitra Surik out.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokapata. Muchashakapaka. Jishawa anibonka sha chonasi ichua byongbo joni.
Is something wrong?
Did you feel that? No, Taquati. It's something else. Something's happening.
Kakin cha na kwat na bonkon. Wanakumbes chi pala mulek tonki pa nagnonek tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest wuf mala nibokurk.
A few sore spots, but I'm fine otherwise. The cavern we were passing through must have shielded us from the worst of the blast.
Something is different. I can feel the Force, but not like before. It's almost as if the Force is calling out to me.
I don't understand.
I can't explain it. I feel so weak.
Here, let me help you.
What's happening? I'm sorry, friend, but the Force has its own will now, and I must obey.
The storms are quite magnificent, aren't they?
I'm not interested in the weather, but I did have some questions. You can start by telling me what this place is, and how I got here.
You'll know this place already. You discovered it during your journey through the planet's depths, but were too weak to enter.
I remember the structure now, but what is its purpose? And how did it survive when the rest of the planet sits fractured and broken?
It is an academy of sorts, and it survived because it is protected. The dark power of this planet is very strong, but you know this already.
What I know is that I don't plan on spending another minute here.
You cannot leave, not until you are ready.
You can't keep me captive here.
It is my hope that you will choose to stay, especially after you see what I have to offer you.
Huh. You're crazy if you think I want to stay here. I'm a Jedi, and I must return to the Order.
Ah, but are you sure they will even take you back? You've seen where the path of the light has led you. There are other avenues to the Force, you know. It is time you put your Jedi past behind you and set your new destiny into motion.
You are of the Sith. I will not be corrupted by your teachings.
I had a feeling you would react this way. So be it. It is time to teach you your first lesson.
Teach this.
You cannot defeat me in this place. End this.
I'm planning on it.
Your strength weakens more with each moment that you resist.
I will not give in to the dark side.
It is too late for that. I know what happened on the planet's surface with your Jedi companions. You are slowly giving into the dark side already. Look deep inside. You are changed.
How did this happen?
The dark power of this place is very strong. It did not take much for you to turn once the Jedi turned on you. Once Revan turned on you.
I don't believe you. Revan would not condone genocide of his own people.
Then you do not know Revan as well as you think. He does not care about you. You are a pawn in the greater plan, one that extends far beyond this place.
That's impossible. Revan wouldn't do this.
The Revan you knew no longer exists. The dark power of this place has changed him as well. But with great power also came great vision, and Revan saw the Force as it was meant to be seen, without regard to light or dark.
Who are you, and how do you know all of this?
I am the keeper of this place, and one of Revan's disciples, one of many that he has secretly trained so that his army will be ready for the true threat that is to come.
The only threat I see is you, Sith.
Sith? No, I am not Sith, but I am not Jedi either. We are something greater, something more powerful, something forged to bring balance and stability to the galaxy. The Mandalorian Wars were just a front for a larger conflict. Revan has discovered the true evil in the galaxy, and he and his army have now gone where no Jedi has gone before to confront it.
If this threat is as powerful as you make it out to be, then why didn't he take you with him?
There were many that Revan did not take with him. The ones he sacrificed in the final battle were those whose loyalties to him remained in doubt, including you. Yet there were others that chose a different path and did not follow him.
Which others?
His top general chose to remain behind. Revan let her go so she could show the Jedi Council the hypocrisy of their failed teachings.
Top General? You are referring to Mitra Surik. What does she have to do with any of this?
You don't know, do you? Look around at all the destruction. This is her doing. The hunger you feel, it is a manifestation of the planet's destruction that she caused.
No, I don't believe it.
Look at yourself if you need more proof. She now roams free while you are confined to this planet, forced to absorb life from others just to sustain yourself. Your affliction is a painful burden to bear, but can become a powerful technique as well. But it can also lead to your undoing if not managed properly. We can help you control your hunger, but you must promise to remain here at this academy.
We? What do you mean, we?
By we, I also speak of the one that found you. She is very strong in the Force, and her power continues to grow with each day she resides in this place. She has trained others powerful in the Force, and she can train you to harness your power as well.
I can't. I will not.
Even now, the hunger consumes you, weakens you. If you hope to survive, you must give in to your hate, give in to your anger, and embrace the full power of this place. With her aid, she can teach you to channel your hunger. But for now, you must rest.
Instead of returning after the war's end, the ships under Revan's command went deep into unexplored space. They claimed to be searching for the last remnants of the Mandalorian fleet. Revan and Malak returned at the head of a massive invasion fleet. Revan had assumed the title of Sith Lord. The hero had become a conqueror.